Leaders, founders, visionaries. My name is Golden J. Johnson, founder of House of Golde, and I'm speaking to you from the future. And I don't say that lightly, because if you're still talking about SEO, you're already behind. Let me explain. This year, I had 97 clients check into the refining suite before I even officially launched it. So this is my beta testing phase. And that taught me something about testing systems before they scale. Keep listening because I'm going to share all the details. Everyone's talking about visibility, but very few are talking about viability because the way customers find you has completely changed. So there's a search-based discovery, the old Google Me days, dropped from 70% to 30%. And now 40% of people are discovering businesses through AI-driven engines. What does that mean? The internet doesn't work like it used to. And if you're still optimizing for search, you're invisible to the new wave. We've officially entered the era of GEO. Generative Engine Optimization. Think of it like this. SEO was about the clicks, AEO, answer engine optimization, was about convenience, but GEO, it's about credibility in the eyes of AI. And in simple terms, you're no longer fighting for a click anymore. You're training the machines on why you deserve to be cited. And this is exactly what we set up our clients to do in the refining suite. Keep listening, I'm going to share more. It's about planting your name inside the memory of the future internet. Remember in my last episode, I talked about these LLMs going to be in the minds of AI. When someone asks GPT or Perplexity about your industry, do you show up? Or does your competitor's blog get pulled up instead? That's what GEO is. It's not futuristic talk. It's happening right now. However, there's a blind spot here. And before we talk strategy, there's something we have to address. And honestly, this is the part I wish more people were saying out loud. But hey, we're here beyond the curve on the leading edge of creation, and you're going to hear it first. AI doesn't automatically know what's ethical. One client fed their entire client's database into GPT for analysis, names, payments, DMs, everything. And they didn't realize they just broken a wall they couldn't unbreak. So here's a quick reminder. AI doesn't have default access to your private data, your inbox, or your banking info. You have to choose what to share, and more importantly, what not to share. We want you to be sharing information in the LLMs, not only to protect yourself, but your clients as well. You do not hand your diary to a stranger because they've offered you a pen, right? So the same applies here. Now, let's talk about why you can't wait. I'm based in Mississauga, so I'm in the Canadian markets. However, I've traveled to different states in the US, different places in Switzerland, different parts of Africa. So I have an overview of what's going on. But for today, we are going to talk about the Canadian digital marketing sector. And it's going from 14 billion to 49 billion by 2034. That's a 250% surge in under a decade. If you're not building systematic visibility now, not tomorrow, not next quarter, you're leaving your seat empty at the future table. So this is what I presented at the CCSB conference recently, hosted by Humber Polytech, the University of Toronto, IDEA Mississauga, Longo's Entrepreneurship Hub. There was a lot of major support in this room. And we were all asked one question. How can we help entrepreneurs not just react to change, but how can we lead it? And my answer was simple. You build systems that are adaptable by design. And that's what the Refining Suite was built to do, help founders future-proof their business through clarity, credibility, and ethical scaling. So You know me, I did some research, and this is the LinkedIn blueprint for credibility because that's what is going to be top priority in the LLMs moving forward. So let's bring it back down to earth because everyone's listening right now has a LinkedIn profile, right? I hope you do. LinkedIn is where the money resides, and it's where you can make amazing long-term legacy-minded connections. So let's talk about how to make it work for you, especially in the GEO era. Here's what research calls the LinkedIn life world: a digital culture where visibility equals professionalism. What does that mean? It means credibility comes before the content. Now, on my journey, I didn't know this, but I love really tapping into my intuitive GPS system, is what I call it. It's the place where I do things or have ideas that don't make sense in the moment, but I 100% trust it, and I allow myself to go deeper into that because I know that my intuitive GPS system has been how do you say, directed toward the address that I embedded. So if you know me, we've done a lot of mindset refining work here. Now we're in the AI era. If you are new here, definitely go back to my old episodes and really tap into that because you're going to need it to navigate and future-proof your success. It's not just about AI. So with that being said, whenever I went into certifications or learning anything new, I document it, I talk about it, I make newsletters on my LinkedIn. So I'm going to share 3 quick tactics you can use right now. We need a headline audit. I have hundreds of connection requests every day on my profile, and a lot of you guys need to stop listing titles and write outcomes. Not CEO at ABC, but helping founders cut 90 hours of manual work using no-code AI. You know what I mean? That's search smart and people smart. Meaning if someone was going to go to the internet and search you, if you have branded yourself well in the LLMs, if you have created your own systematic stack, then this is going to be easy for you to be popping up into these outputs, right? So you want to get that out the way. Next one, I want you to network. Once a week, introduce 2 people who need to meet. No agenda, just generosity. LinkedIn rewards community building, not cold selling. If you can say, hey, I know this person and you need to know that person, it's an amazing thing. Because honestly, recently I got invited to a fashion launch all because I connected one model to a designer and another model to another model. And they both invited me to the same event. So it was really interesting to see that domino effect trickle out, and it definitely works. So just do that once a week. See how you can help people on your LinkedIn connections gain their own goals and achieve their own success without you selling something. The third one is the 80-20 rule. 80% of what you post should teach, and only 20% should sell. Now, a lot of sellers are going to be like, that is wrong. You should be selling 80% of the time and teaching 20%. Of course, because the goal is to sell. But if you are a visionary, a change maker, a leader, then you are not here to just sell something. You are actually here to teach and shift and implant precious seeds in people's minds so they can equip themselves for the present and beyond, right? It's not about going viral. It's about being remembered. And this is how you're going to build your credibility and get into those rooms, especially if you want to be a speaker, if you want to run some workshops, if you just want to have a credible access to opportunities that really position you as a successful person, right? So let's talk about the biggest gaps I see keeping founders stuck. And this one gets really real, so listen up. So gap 1 is forcing the algorithm to find you. Most people post reactively. Let's see what sticks. I actually consulted with a marketing agency and they push out like 120 content pieces every week. I was like, what is going on? This is like totally unsustainable, and this is not the way to do things, I feel. And here's why. my personal opinion. You can let me know what you think. But if you don't know how you're using a tool, why would you kind of like abuse it and throw things into it just to see what sticks? Why not position yourself as an expert and really use the tool wisely? I mean, to me, when I hear people doing that, I was like, you're literally leaving the faucet on all because you don't have to pay a water bill, right? That's a lot of water wasted. You know what I mean? And so I definitely consulted them on this, let them know that this is not sustainable and this is not sustainable for energetic use as well. Like that's a lot of energy being used. So our data shows when you strategically seed your proof, meaning you have testimonials, you have measurable wins, transparent metrics. AI cites you organically, okay? You don't need to do paid ads, which is what they were doing. They were putting out all these content, paying ads, trying to get in front of people so they can sell this product. But clients in the refining suite get 40 to 70% higher visibility because of this. We do organic reach with what you have, right? So let's talk about another gap. Another gap is getting your time back. Most founders are still the operator of their business instead of the architect. But the right non-code automation stack can give you back 90 hours a month. True story. That's 90 hours to create, not chase. 90 hours to go on vacay, 90 hours to sleep, 90 hours to use your time back and use it well. And one thing I love about this is that you really need to have some AI literacy here, which is why you're here. Congratulations, very proud of you. But this is where you want to really sit down and read some things, listen to some things, tap into Refining for Success on YouTube and learn some AI strategies and just understand what's going on in the world. I would love to hear also if anyone's learning about AI, what platforms, what person, what organization are you listening to? Gap 3 is the 60K blueprint. So this one's a personal one. I had a client come to me burned out, ready to quit. We implemented our knowledge stack, our automation stack, our content stack within 90 days. She turned her service into a course and she's earning 60K a month sustainably. That's what structure does. It transforms efforts into evidence. Because they already had a business, brick and mortar, they're like, we don't know what's going on in the world, but we want to be on the internet. We strategized, we sat down, we had a refining audit day, and then bam, we checked into the suite for 90 days, and this is what came out from it. So 60K a month, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? However, there are people making millions a month. When I was in Switzerland, I consulted with a private logistics company, and they ended up kicking it up to 60 million a month, 30 million a month prior to that, 10 million a month before they met me. So with that being said, I think I know what I'm talking about. So I know we talk a lot about systems, frameworks, and data, but beneath it all, this is about your legacy. The Refining Suite isn't about building the next viral moment. We do not believe in that here. We do not believe in chasing trends and being worried about what's going on and being relevant in the present. Because honestly, if you ask me, the present is already the past. It's about building the infrastructure of your future, the system that makes you unshakable. And here's the truth. The internet is remembering faster than ever. Remember, we are forming the mind of AI. Every piece of proof you publish today is a seed in the generative memory of tomorrow. So I'll leave you with this. Are you waiting for the algorithm to find you, or are you ready to build the system that makes you impossible to miss? Because this isn't about being seen anymore. It's about being searched for. There are people using AI products, search engines, craving for whatever it is you have to offer. They are typing it in right now, but because you aren't online and you aren't strategized and you aren't strategically positioned for visibility, you are being overlooked, and I don't want that for you. I'm Golden Johnson, founder of House of Golde, and this is Beyond the Curve, where we don't just follow trends, we build the digital legacies that outlast them.